Good evening, College Park Skyhawks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Atlanta Sports District. I'm your host, Russell Spence, bringing you episode 14, talking about Game 2 in the College Park Skyhawks season. It was another rough one. We lost 124 to 92 to Raptors 905. Usually the G League does this where the first two games of the year, they have them be in the same city against the same team just to reduce travel costs. I can understand that. I know that the G League is not exactly like a lucrative thing for the NBA. It's more of a developmental thing to help the actual NBA have more talent coming in. And so we played the same team twice in a row, but this time we didn't have Jacob Toppin because he was in Atlanta because of our injury situation. So we were even in a worse spot in terms of what roster we had available. Getting into it, I want to discuss how an NBA G League team is put together and why right now the Raptors are able to beat our brains in. So when you're putting a G League team together, there's kind of two thought processes. One is maximizing the minutes for the guys that you think will need to improve, that can make your roster eventually. And so you kind of, behind them, don't have wonderful options in terms of people that have played in the NBA, super great depth, understanding of what they need to do. That's kind of the direction the Hawks have gone in. So like our players that need to be playing a lot, that maybe will make our team one day, like Javen Johnson. Today I've talked about maybe wanting to put him on a two-way contract. He played 37 minutes. Kobe Johnson played 30 minutes. And Eli John Njai only played 22 but had some significant foul issues throughout the entire game. He's been playing more than that in their preseason stuff, in their scrimmages, and in the first game. He just got in a bunch of foul trouble in this outing. So contrast that to the Raptors. They're two guys that are really high up there in their pantheon of who might eventually make their team is AJ Lawson and Chucky Hepburn. They both only got 28 minutes. And Elijah Martin, the kind of third guy, played at Florida and Florida Atlantic. He only played 25 minutes. And so they've put a team together that's full of a bunch of NBA veterans, people that have been on NBA contracts before. And ours is not. Ours is a bunch of players who maybe they played overseas and played well, or they're just coming out of college and we're kind of trying to figure out where they're going to lie in this NBA landscape, and it did not go well. For instance, they have Olivier Sarr, who played for years for the Thunder. They have David Roddy, who, even though I don't like him as a player, I don't think he is very good. In an NBA G League context, he's one of the better scorers they're going to have down there in terms of just like professional scorer background. They have Patrick McCaw, who played for Golden State for years. They have Jarkel Joyner, who was one of our guys who was a solid quality veteran backup for 2 years straight. We let him go, and now he's playing for them and playing very well. So that kind of fills you in on why it was such a struggle. I do think that, let's say the Hawks roster was completely healthy. No injuries on the book at all. The Atlanta Hawks. Then the College Park Skyhawks would probably have Caleb Houston and Jacob Toppin and Nikola Jurisic and Asa Newell, all four playing down there. I think they make a huge difference in the outcome of this game. But what shoulda, coulda, woulda, you got to play with the guys you have in the building, and today it didn't go well. So let's talk about kind of what I saw from the players, and I don't think this is going to be a very long episode because I'm only going to talk about 3 players. We're going to start with Kobe Johnson. Kobe had 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. You see that stat line, you go, that's pretty good. I mean, not wonderful, but serviceable for sure. It was not. When you look at his statistics, they don't tell the story because he was very overzealous on defense. He was going for passes he should not go for. There were times where he was not meeting the basketball on passes and getting things picked off. They're getting free run-out layups. Kobe Johnson ended this game minus 43. I don't think that's indicative of the player that he is. I saw him play for years in college. He is a better player than minus 43. But I think it kind of snowballed out of control on Kobe today. And I think he got a little downtrodden. And their team is a team of a bunch of hungry people who are trying to get either their NBA contracts for the first time or regain NBA contracts that they've lost. And they smelled blood in the water of a kid who was getting frustrated, and they ripped him to shreds. They attacked him a lot on defense. They tried to, pilfer anything they could from him, whether that was the dribble or whether that was a pass to him that he was not meeting aggressively. There was a lot of times where he just kind of let a guy cut right in front of him and pick it off and go lay it up. And so I would love to see a bounce back game from Kobe next week. They don't play again until I believe next Thursday. So he's got some time to kind of clean some of this up. Next we'll move to Eli Njai. As I said, fouls really kept him from getting into his game. He only played 22 minutes. He did not score a point. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He was pretty rough today, and he was minus 31. So, really, it was the starters that got ran off the floor. And it was pretty much all on him in his minutes. He was very foul prone, very turnover prone, not playing well in any way. And I would have loved to see it be a different story. But as I said, he's coming over from Barcelona. He needs time to acclimate to the American game. We're going to see over the course of their season how he does in that. And that will decide what kind of NBA player he's going to be. But right now, he has not acclimated to it yet. He does not look comfortable. And I don't know if that's because he doesn't trust his teammates or if he was used to playing with different teammates. You know, they went through their whole camp with Jurisic there, with Newell there, with Houston there, Toppin there. They're all gone. And so now he's playing with guys maybe he didn't play with a ton. That might be playing into it, but right now he does not look acclimated to the game. And of course, would he? It's been 2 games and a couple of scrimmages. He desperately needs the reps. And so we need him not getting in foul trouble, because if he's in foul trouble, then he's not getting the reps. So I would be, if I was his coach, I would be harping on do not foul, do not foul, do not foul, do not foul. Not only because you need to learn how to defend without fouling, but also because not fouling allows me to keep you on the court. If you have 4 fouls in the middle of the second quarter, I can't keep playing you. And that's what ended up happening today. Moving on to Javen Johnson. So he played 37 minutes. He had 25 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and shot 40% from 3. And was only minus 27, which in that starter group was one of the better totals. He really looks skilled offensively in a way I was not expecting. He looks like a guard, like a legitimate guard. Put the ball on the floor, run the offense, shoot the 3, guard. We have an open roster spot on the Hawks. Right now we only have 14 players. I would think, if it were me running the team, I would go to the trade deadline, and then if we made a trade and got a 15th player, okay, that's fine. I would keep my options open. But once the trade deadline passed, and we still only had 14 players, if that was the case, I would move one of Toppin or Houston to a full contract. probably Toppin. And then I would sign Javen Johnson to a two-way to kind of solidify, hey, you're on our roster. I really like what I've seen from him, and I think that he is a player who could do that. The thing I am a little bit weirded out by our G League team, I don't know where Lamont Butler is. We had him to a contract in the offseason, and then he was cut after playing in a game in the preseason. We hold his G League rights. I don't know if he's playing for another team. I'm going to go look for him. But he would be really, really helpful right now. A real pro. A really good player. The G League doesn't have to really give like injury reports and things like that. They don't produce that as much. I don't know where he's at, but he would be really helpful. Moving on to my last couple of small thoughts. Dwight Murray just looks unable to run the offense. And so I'm hoping that when we bring Jurisic down, and Jurisic actually is playing. Right now, Jurisic has a right elbow sprain that he got in camp. I need him to play. He's my favorite player on the whole team. I want to watch him play, please. Jurisic play. But when he comes down, I hope that he takes that starting point guard role from Murray. And we just say, no more of that. Like, have our starting lineup be Jurisic, Javen Johnson, Jacob Toppin, John Njai, and hopefully Asa, if he's healthy, but if not, Malik Williams is a fine player. He's played for years. He actually played for Raptors 905 for a few years. He's a good player. I also think it wouldn't be terrible to see the Hawks try to swing a trade. The Skyhawks can trade for people as well. You can trade like future G League draft picks and things like that. We did that for Jordan Bowden a few years ago, and he helped us have a respectable team. Player out of Tennessee, very good player, very good shooter. And so I would like to see that happen. I would like to see them make a play for a really serviceable player, because it seems like we're one short right now. And with the injuries that are occurring in the actual NBA on the actual Hawks, it would be helpful to have another guy who's just a body to throw out there, who's like a real NBA body, not going to embarrass you. So moving forward, like I said, they play again next Thursday. If you can, please watch the games. They play next Thursday, and it's completely free against the Capital City Go-Go's, the Washington Wizards affiliate. You just sign into the G League app, like you just download it, and then it will play it here, and you can stream it to your television using the YouTube app. And it's free, completely. So you should watch the game. Let's support the Skyhawks. But it's Thursday at 7. Tune in, and hopefully we're going to have more of our actual roster. It seems like Jalen's coming back on the Atlanta side. Seems like Kristaps is coming back. Seems like Nikhil will be back. So there will be more opportunity for these players to move down, play on the actual G League slate, and maybe give us a more competitive team. Plus, the Capital City Go-Go's also seem like they're not exactly the best of team as well. I think they are trying to play into their younger players and trying to help them develop. They have Tristan Vucevic, Leaky Black, Jameer Watkins will be playing for them. Tyler Smith, former Milwaukee Bucks first-round pick. Sharif Cooper's on that team as one of their veterans. Scalaby Sierra's on that team as one of their veterans. So it is a good roster, but it's a lot of young guys and a few veterans. The same way we're a lot of young guys and just a few veterans. So I think it'll be a little more evenly matched, especially if we have some of our players back. That being said, let me know if you think that it might be a rough season for our Skyhawk squad, if you're watching the games or not. Let me know if you have been able to find them. I would love to find other G League lovers. I think the G League is a place where you can get to show that you love basketball. Not just the Hawks, but you love the entire game of basketball. So let me know if you're watching the games. Let me know if you care. I'm going to keep posting videos about them because I do care, and I want you to know how these players are playing. So, all that being said, I hope you have absolutely a wonderful day.